Hi friends, welcome to KMED Gateway Education. Let's see the first question. A three-phase 4-pole induction motor runs at 1440 RPM. Find the rotor efficiency. Find the rotor efficiency. Question la paranga. He asked that rotor efficiency. If you consider the induction motor, this is a stator and this is a rotor. How we are studying the induction machines means first we analyze the rotor of the induction motor, neglecting the stator core loss and stator copper loss. Then we finally add that. First we find the equivalent circuit of the rotor, then we add the stator, and you find the torque slip characteristics. So then simply adding that stator also we are finding torque slip characteristics. First we are analyzing the rotor. Okay, so rotor input power or air gap power is same. If you see here, rotor input power or air gap power is to rotor copper loss is to gross mechanical power W, that equal to 1 is to S is to 1 minus S, where S is the slip. So idana namak therinjanda slip equal to ns minus nr by ns, where ns is the synchronous speed, nr is the rotor speed. So efficiency is output by input. So what is the here he asked rotor efficiency. So output of the rotor what? 1 minus s, input of the rotor what? 1, that equal to 1 minus s. If you substitute this, ns minus nr by ns, that equal to ns minus ns plus nr by ns, that equal to nr by ns. So efficiency of the rotor is nr by ns. Okay, so here the rotor speed is given as 1440 rpm. So what is synchronous speed? Synchronous speed is nearer to the 1500 rpm. So synchronous speed is nearer to this is 1500. So NSR, how you are finding the 1500 rpm directly? So if a motor speed is 970 rpm, the synchronous speed is 1000 rpm. So let's see here. He 3-phase 4-pole induction motor, 120 into 50 by standard frequency is 50, 4, 30, 30, 50 is 1500. This is synchronous speed. Actually நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா 120 into 50 by how many number of poles starting? Initial poles is 2, because even number of poles must be there. Even number of poles must be there on the stator and rotor for the production of the unidirectional torque. Okay, so if stator is 3-phase, rotor is 2-phase, induction motor operation is possible. Stator is 5-phase, rotor is 1-phase, induction motor operation is possible. Suppose stator is 3 poles, rotor is 2 poles, induction motor is not possible. If 4 poles, so poles should be even. Okay, if stator is 6 poles, rotor is 6 poles, induction motor operation is possible. If rotor is 6 poles, stator is 6 poles, rotor is 4 poles, induction motor is not possible. So it does not depends upon the stator and rotor phases. It depends upon stator and rotor poles that must be equal. Okay, so the poles should be even. So eduk sir even pathina, suppose I have this is a stator and this is a rotor. Okay, this is a north pole and south pole, and if I have here rotor has a south pole and north pole, and let's take south pole and north pole. You have torque production. So for example, south pole and north pole here, this south pole attracts here, north pole to south pole attracts here, you have a unidirectional torque. For example, I have north pole, so even number of poles. You can see here stator and a rotor has a even number of poles and equal poles. Even number of poles and equal poles, you have a unidirectional torque. For example, north pole and south pole, this is a stator. If I have a rotor, let's think here I have a south pole, here I have a south pole, and here I have a north pole, here I have a south pole, here is a south pole. You can see here this south pole attract towards this north pole repel towards this. Here as you can see, the south pole repels towards this north pole attract towards this. You can see here half of the rotation is, you can see here half of the rotation is forward and remaining half of rotation is reverse. Okay, so this half of rotation is like this half of rotation is like this. You are not getting unidirectional torque. Unidirectional torque means on the rotor one directional chuttanam, so the rotor should be rotated in one direction. So the rotor is rotated in one direction. So from this the point is that stator poles and rotor poles must be equal and of even. Okay, so you can see here for two poles 120 60 you get 3000 rpm. Suppose 120 into 50 by 4 30, you have 1500 rpm. So these are the synchronous speed. 120 into 50 by 6 1000 rpm. So what is the rotor speed? Less than 1000 speed, 1000 rpm. What is the rotor speed here? Less than 1500 rpm. What is the rotor speed here? Less than 3000 rpm. Okay, so you don't calculate here directly 1440, so nearest synchronous speed is 1500. You have to remember the two poles you have a synchronous speed of 3000 rpm, 4 poles you have a 1500 rpm, 6 poles you have a 1000 rpm. For 8 poles 120 into 50 by 8, 4 2s, 4 30s, 2 15s, 5 5s, so 750 rpm. Okay, so you have to do like this. Next question. Crawling, next question is crawling in induction motor is caused by. So what are the due to the harmonic, what are the consequences? What are the consequences that occurs due to harmonics? What are the consequences that occurs due to the harmonic torques? Harmonic torques, that is cogging and crawling. Cogging means you have a magnetic locking. Cogging means you have a magnetic locking. Crawling means that is the rotor. If you see here, this is the torque slip characteristic of induction motor. Induction motor. Crawling is occur at 1/7 of the synchronous speed, so ns by 7 and ns by 5. Induction motor, you have two types of induction motor. One is a squirrel cage and another is slip ring. Let us consider the slip ring or squirrel cage. Let us consider squirrel cage. This is a rotor. This is a rotor, squirrel cage rotor. You have a slots here, semi-closed slots. You have a induction motor having a semi-closed slot. Why semi-closed slot? Means it takes over the advantage of open slot and closed slot. Okay, so note that the induction motor only uses semi-closed slot, whereas DC machines and synchronous machines uses open slots. Okay, so if you see here, you are placing a copper bars. You are placing a copper bars in these slots. You are placing a copper bars. Okay, so something it look like this. Copper bars I am placing. I am placing copper bars like this. Okay, here and this is short circuit. These copper bars are short circuited. Actually, these slots are not placed parallelly. These slots are not placed parallelly. Okay, you have some angle. You have some angle. If you see here, this will be actually placed like this. Slots are skewed. Slots are skewed. Okay, actually these slots are something skewed. You have a skew angle also formula. Okay, slots are skewed for producing uniform distribution of the flux linkages. Okay, so for producing uniform distribution of the flux linkages, and also for increasing the starting torque. If you consider squirrel cage induction motor, you have no external resistance for the provision and to improve the starting torque, whereas for to improve the starting torque in squirrel cage induction and to get uniform distribution, you go for this. Some slots are skewed. Okay, so if slots are not skewed, you get a non-uniform distribution of the flux linkages. Slots are not skewed means ஓகேவா. ஸோ ஸ்லாட்ஸ் கியூ பண்ணலைன்னா உங்களுக்கு நான் யூனிஃபார்ம் டிஸ்ட்ரிபியூஷன் ஆஃப் தி ஃப்ளக்ஸ் லிங்கேஜஸ் வரும். ஸோ you know that torque is proportional to phi into Ia. So if you have a torque is not, flux is not a sinusoidal, so what you have, harmonic torques will be there. What will be there? Harmonic torques will be there. Harmonic torque will be there. So what is the what causes harmonic torques? Harmonic torques leads to the clogging, crawling. So clogging means magnetic locking. Crawling means, actually if you see the torque slip characteristics like this, so this is the torque slip characteristics. So we know that this is a stable region. Which is the stable region? This is the stable region, this is the unstable region. So you get the crawling occurs at ns by 5, 1/5 of the synchronous speed, 1/7 of the synchronous speed. So this 1/5 of the synchronous speed occurs at braking region. Okay, so this 1/7 of the synchronous speed occurs at unstable region. So 1/7 of the synchronous speed occurs at unstable region, 1/5 of the synchronous speed occurs at braking region. So this has to be remembered that 1/5 crawling occurs at two speeds, that is 1/7 of the synchronous speed and 1/5 of the synchronous speed. Okay va. So rendu conditions ninga crawling engenga akkuragum, where the crawling is occurs, 1/5 of the synchronous speed, 1/7 of the synchronous speed. So 1/7 of this synchronous speed in torque slip characteristics, where it come? So 1/7 of the synchronous speed in torque slip characteristics, it comes under unstable region. 1/5 of the synchronous speed, it comes under the braking region. It comes under the braking region. So actually 1/5 of the synchronous speed, if crawling is occur at 1/5, then the motor will get stable at this point. Actually at unstable point, it is getting a stable. Okay, so you are getting something at this torque slip characteristics like this. So if you consider this part, if you consider torque slip characteristics at this point, it is in stable region. Okay, so this is a crawling. At crawling, that means the induction motor is even to possible to operate at unstable region, that is a crawling. Okay, so the crawling is due to the harmonic develops in the rotor, due to the harmonics. Okay, so what is the cause for the clogging and crawling? Due to the non-uniform distribution of the flux linkages. So how to reduce that? If you place the slot something at skewing angle, something is skewed, that means we are not placing parallel, angles are skewed. Okay, next, see the next question. Which one of the following is not necessary condition to be satisfied for synchronizing an incoming alternator to? So for synchronizing, voltage should be same. What are the conditions? Voltage is same. Okay, voltage same magnitude. Okay, so synchronize பண்றப்ப the incoming voltage and existing voltage should be same frequency, right? Same frequency and same phase sequence should be there. So what is the not necessary condition? Same prime mover speed. Next question. The alternating magnetic field can be split up into two rotating fields of half its magnitude and traveling in opposite directions. I think this principle is called. So this is double field revolving theory. So half of the, suppose if you consider rotating magnetic field, okay, so you have a phi A here, phi B you have a something here, and phi C here. Okay, you are splitting this phi A forward rotating magnetic field, backward rotating, you are rotating like this, you are splitting like this. If you consider a single phase induction motor, it will be effectively understandable. Okay, this also, if you calculate this, you get finally F resultant equal to 3/2 Fm cos of theta omega. Forward rotating, you have a you can see here you have a 3 forward rotating magnetic field. You can see here 3 forward rotating magnetic field and 3 backward rotating. So 3 forward rotating magnetic field, 3 backward rotating magnetic field. So if you add 3 forward rotating magnetic fields and 3 backward rotating magnetic fields, the forwarding rotating magnetic field results in 3 by 2 fm cos of theta minus omega t, whereas backward rotating magnetic field, if you add, it result into 0. It result into 0 in case of 3-phase induction motor. In case of single phase induction motor, it does not becomes 0. You have a 90 degrees phase displacement. Okay, so this is a Ferrari's principle, double field revolving theory based on this Ferrari's principle. Next question: in alternator, voltage generated per phase is proportional to. So this is simple question. E equal to 4.44 Fi turns per phase. So flux is there, right? Number of turns is there, right? Frequency is there, right? All of this is the right answer. Next question: which fractional pitch will eliminate the 7th harmonics from the voltage? This is a little confusing question. So we know that the fractional pitch will eliminate the 7th harmonic. Which fractional pitch will eliminate the 7th harmonic? So short pitch angle to eliminate the 7th harmonic. Fractional pitch means short pitch. Fractional pitch means it is a short pitch. Okay, fractional pitch means it is a short pitch. So which fractional pitch or short pitch to eliminate 7th harmonic or to eliminate nth harmonic is 180 by n. 180 by n. So you get 180 by 7 short pitch angle to eliminate the 7th harmonic is 180 by 7. So you see here, actually which fractional pitch will eliminate the 7th harmonic from the voltage is 180 by 7. You don't have 180 by 7 here. You don't have 180 by 7 here. Okay, if you see here, actually this is the coil span equal to full pole pitch. It is a full pitch winding. So if it is short pitched, okay, so this is a short pitch angle. Or fractional pitch to eliminate the 7th harmonic. So 180 by 7. Actually, if you go for none of this, it is also correct. But if you see here, what is the coil span here? So that means here the fractional pitch means here the coil span to eliminate 7th harmonic means n minus 1 by n into 180, that equal to 7 minus 1, 6 by 7 into 180, that is 6/7 of the pole pitch. So here it is also there, 6 by 7 is there. So something here is confusing question. None of this will become if you consider short pitch angle. So if he asks the fractional pitch, that means he asking indirectly the coil span. So I think he is not asking short fractional pitch angle, he is asking the short fractional pitch means that is a coil span. So this coil spans, that is 6/7 of the pole pitch, that is answer is 6 by 7. So he asked us, so short pitch angle means okay 180 by 7. Okay, next question: hunting in synchronous motor takes place. Hunting means rotor oscillations. Hunting means rotor oscillations. Okay, so rotor oscillations cause when load is changed, right, or supply voltage changes. Load changes or supply voltage changes. But if you consider a synchronous motor, in synchronous motor supply is given directly, so it goes to the load here. So if you consider synchronous mode in synchronous motor, if load changes only, hunting will takes place. So power factor motor is under load resource fluctuates or varies. Supply voltage fluctuates means it comes under alternator. Okay, so generator is supplying voltages, whereas here motor is giving the load. So load, synchronous motor means load. Next question: a double squirrel cage induction motor. Has two parallel windings. If you see here, this is a double cage, this is a one cage, and this is another cage. So if you see here, the current here is in this cage and in this cage is different. The current in this cage and the current in this cage is different. The current in this cage flowing through this cage is, and the current flowing through this cage and the current flowing through this gauge is totally different. Suppose if you consider network theory, if two parallel branches is there, if current is dividing means this current is different, this current is different. Okay, that means two parallel windings in rotor. So double gauge rotor, double squirrel gauge index, double gauge means it is a rotor. To increase the starting torque, that means two parallel windings in rotor, Let's see here. 5 horsepower 50 Hz 3-phase 440 induction motors are available for following RPM. Which motor is costliest? So think once. So I am giving the answer here, 730 RPM. How when speed is reduced, how the cost is increased? So speed is inversely proportional to the cost. How it will relate? Speed decreases, cost increases. Think once and put your answer in the comment box. Next see here, which of the following motor does not have a centrifugal switch? So if you see here, a capacitor start motor, it is the capacitor is used at the only starting condition. It is series with auxiliary winding. It is used at only at starting condition, and then have to remove. Means compulsory centrifugal switch is required. Okay va, capacitor start motor எடுத்துக்கினா அந்த capacitor வந்து auxiliary winding ஓட சீரிஸ்ல parallel main winding ஓட இருக்கு. அது வந்து ரன்னிங் கண்டிஷன்ல வந்தவொடனே எடுத்துறணும். ஸ்டார்டிங் கண்டிஷன் தான் எனக்கு capacitor வேணும், ரன்னிங் கண்டிஷன் எனக்கு தேவையே இல்லை. ஸோ ரன்னிங் கண்டிஷன் I don't require this capacitor, I don't require that centrifugal switch, that is a capacitor at running condition. I want at starting condition only, so I have to remove when coming under running condition, then I use centrifugal switch. Similarly split phase motor, whereas capacitor run motor, I want capacitor run motor, I permanently connect that capacitor in series with the auxiliary wind. Okay, so the capacitor run motor does not require a centrifugal switch. So answer is this. So capacitor run motor. Next question is, speed control of universal motors for swing machine is by varying the resistance. Speed control of the universal motor means DC series motor. Okay, it can be used series motor, it can be used as a AC and DC. So speed control of universal motor used for swing machine is by varying the resistance. The thickness of the laminations used in the transformer is 0.5 mm thickness. Thickness of the lamination of used in the transformer is 0.5 mm thickness. Okay, right. What is the silicon used here? CRGO steel, cold roll grain oriented silicon steel. The thickness of the laminations used in 0.5 mm thickness. Next question, equalizer rings used in which of the following? So if you consider are used in, let us consider here 4 poles. For lap winding, number of parallel paths equal to number of poles. Whereas in wave winding, you have number of parallel paths equal to 2. Number of parallel paths is 2. Okay, so inga pathina for wave winding, number of parallel paths equal to 2 means the flux is balanced. Here if you see here, the flux is not balanced if you consider lap winding. The flux is not balanced. To make the flux balance, you are going for lap winding. Okay, so to maintain the flux balance, that is current is not equally distributed. To distribute current equally, the flux unbalance means the flux leads to the flux causes by current. So to make the current equal at all the centers, you are placing equalizer rings in lap winding. Okay, so here if you see here, let current in each parallel path is 10 ampere. So if you see here, current in each parallel path, suppose EMF per conductor is 10, so 40 amperes here 10. What is power here? 400 watts. Let's suppose here current in each parallel path is also same. Current in each parallel path is 10 amperes, here 20 amperes. So power should be remains constant 400. What is induced EMF conductor? 20 into X equal to 400, so 220. So X equal, so EMF induced is 20. So EMF induced in each parallel path is 20. Okay, here from this you can understand that the lap winding is for high current, low voltage. So lap winding is for high current, low voltage. Here low current, high voltage. Here it is for low current, high voltage. Okay, let's see next question. In DC machine, internal characteristics is plotted between internal characteristics. So let's try this and give the answer in the comment box. In DC machine, internal characteristic is given by. Next question. Swinburne test is conducted. Which of the following conditions? Swinburne test is conducted on no load. So this is option, it is full load. You think it is full load. Option yes. Swinburne test is conducted on a no load test. So no load test is always conducted on a shunt motor. It does not conduct on the series motor. Why it does not conduct on the series motor? It if it is conducted on no load, it goes to high speed, dangerously high speed. Okay, so let's see some more questions in next video. So if you like this video, share to your friends and subscribe it. Thank you.